What up, Mike D checking in here. Got another matchup, man. This was another request as well. So 50 Cent and T.I. So I know like online people I have like these debates like who's the better MC or whatever, but we don't really have any criteria to go on. And I thought that it would be beneficial if we were going to have these conversations to actually have 10 criteria to go on. We got lyrical ability, flow and cadence, voice and delivery. Difference between flow and cadence and voice and delivery. Voice and delivery is more of a technical thing, whereas flow and cadence is more of a technical thing, whereas voice and delivery is all about how you deliver your message, utilizing your voice and your delivery. Let's think, Tupac, Ambitions as a Rider, Dear Mama, something like that. Songwriting, catalog, lyrical content, impact, live performance, commercial success, and longevity. Now, I know that once upon a time, Ti and 50 Cent were going to do a versus, and some people might have thought that that wasn't really a evenly paired matchup, but I think it's a lot more even than most people would think. Get a little drink before we start this because this is going to get real regional, if you will. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section as well. So let me start it off. Excuse me. Lyrical ability. To me, that goes to Ti. I think that over time, Ti has shown that lyrically he can take on a vast amount of subject matter over a long duration of time, and I do think that he is the better lyricist of the two. I think that 50 Cent is a underrated lyricist, but I do think that if we're talking about pen work and bar for bar, who the better lyricist is, I'm gonna go with Ti on this. I'm gonna go with Ti on this. Flow and cadence. Difficult too because 50 has a great flow, but in my personal opinion, I think Ti has one of the best flows in hip hop history. Yes, I said that. I think his flow goes down with Pimp C, with Big Gip. He's very versatile with his flow. I mean, look at what he did on Justin Timberlake's My Love, all the way up to what he did on Look at the Grill with, Twista, 8 Ball, and MJG, and even on his own stuff like Ride With Me, or he has a very versatile flow and very creative flow, and I think that's one of his strongest attributes as an MC. Voice and delivery. Now that's 50 Cent all day. Now we talk about delivery. Listen to Many Men. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of people could do that. And I'm gonna mention Many Men again when we're talking about songwriting, but just his ability to execute and utilize his voice. I think that 50 Cent's one of his strongest attributes with Get Rich or Die Trying was the fact that he was an East Coast MC that was able to utilize his voice and delivery in ways that other New York MCs weren't able to do for a national audience. But he still kept that local grit. You know what I'm saying? Like he really still sounded New York, but his voice and his delivery was allowing it to be palatable to national audiences in ways that we had never seen before, to be perfectly honest with you. So voice and delivery, 50 Cent. Songwriting, again, 50 Cent, man. His his ability to write songs and great hooks is next level, man. Like even if you look at, and I know it's Joe on the Big Rich Town or whatever on the Power intro, but that has 50 written all over it, man. Like anything that he's on, at least at a certain point in his career, and I would even argue till now, like the song's gonna be well written. You know what I'm saying? Like again, a mini man. In the club, whatever you think about the record, it's a well written record. Wanksta is a well written record. He's able to do these things that are palatable to mainstream audiences, but he can also give you mixtape 50 at the drop of a dime. Like it's incredible. I was listening to Get Rich or Die Trying not too long ago, and listening to the early songs that are at the end, you know what I mean? It's like he sounds different, but the skill to write songs is still there. Ghetto Quran, you know what I mean? Like, um, I love my wife strict for me, mother. Come on, man. Like, even the way he's able to carry those tunes, I could go on and on about 50 songwriting and what he did for, his own artists as well. Not saying he wrote their stuff, but you could hear his guidance as a songwriter throughout the whole camp. So songwriting, 50 Cent. Catalog and discography, this is debatable. I'm gonna go with T.I. on this one just for the length of his catalog in relation. If we were gonna go with the peaks, it's not much that's fucking with Get Rich or Die Trying. And many of the big moments on the massacre, but I will give T.I. the catalog for the fact that he does have trap music, Urban Legend, King, and Paper Trail in his catalog, among others. But those are going to be the driving force where I would give him this category over 50. The fact that he has those four that are legit, super legit. You know what I'm saying? Lyrical content. I'm gonna go Ti on that one too. Because Ti's lyrical content, I think, is a lot more vast. You know, 50 can get caught in that chamber, in that one chamber that he's incredible at. You know, he's incredible at it. But I think that if we're talking about just a variety of lyrical content, I'm gonna go with Ti because he can get you a song about any and everything. I mean, I'm just doing my job. It's incredible. You know what I'm saying? You got he could give you I'm just doing my job, let's get away, and Rubber Band Man all on the same album. I still ain't forgave myself and things like that. Yeah, I still love you. Yeah, I'm going lyrical content, Ti. Yeah. Impact. That's 50 Cent. Now, for the people who weren't there in 2003 to 2005, 6, whatever, like 50 changed everything, and his impact was ever reaching, not just with his label. The fact that, he had Young Buck on his roster who was representing the South, that even affected the way the South was coming out with things. You know what I'm saying? Like he opened doors for people in the South and sold records for people in the South. Like the impact that 50 had on the game, it's only correlated to what Snoop Dogg did with Doggy Style because there's really nothing to correlate it to. So impact, I mean, I could see how someone could say T.I. on that one as well. That could be debatable, but the impact that 50 Cent had on mixtapes, and he made mixtapes important. Like he's the reason that, and again, I know the Locks had mixtapes back in the day, but if we're talking about somebody getting a record deal and getting the label to go all in on them based on their mixtape run, that starts with 50. And in that era, 50 Cent's impact on the mixtape game and what he was able to do after the mixtapes or after the album dropped, and even having mixtapes leading up to those things, I got to give the impact to 50 Cent for sure. Live performance. I don't think either one of these guys are super strong at live performance, but I will give it to T.I. over 50. You got that joke where, 50 stands in one place and just waves his arm or whatever. Um, I do think you probably get a little bit more energy on stage from T.I. between the two. So I'm gonna go with T.I. on this one, not because T.I. is an incredible performer, but I do think he is a better live performer than 50 Cent. Commercial success. I mean, that's 50 Cent, man. Like nobody was selling. He is heard a line the other day, Prodigy was like, on the new Mobb Deep album where he was like, from the borough that sold more records than everybody. And I'm like, you know what? Queens did sell more records than everybody. 50 had a whole lot to do with that too. Run DMC, LL Cool J, of course. But 50 Cent, man, like commercially, a juggernaut. He was a household name. You would hear his name in sitcoms. You got these people who never talk about hip hop, talking about 50 Cent and all this stuff. So yeah, commercial success, 50 Cent. Longevity. I think that's where 50 comes up short for a lot of people in his longevity in music. Now he has longevity in pop culture and in film, and the Power series is incredible. But we're talking about musically. I'm gonna give the longevity one to Ti. Ti started before 50. and he was very musically relevant after 50. And I just went through some of his discography that spans over, more of a duration of time than what we got from, 50. And I think 50 was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do something else. So I think that yeah, I would have to give that longevity to T.I. on that one. What are we scoring so far? All right, so I got lyrical ability T.I., flow and cadence T.I., voice and delivery 50 Cent, songwriting 50 Cent, discography T.I., lyrical content T.I., impact 50, live performance T.I. All right, he's at 5 right there, and commercial success 50, and longevity T.I. So I got T.I. winning that one 6-4. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Which one do you think that 50 should have gotten, and which one do you think T.I. should have gotten? Did you think I scored that one right? Hit like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Let me know which one you want me to match up with next as well. All right.